Alright, what's up guys? It's B-Train here. So I'm going to tell you guys 6 things I wish I knew before I made my first game. Alright, tip number 1, picking an easy engine. If you are not a programmer-focused developer, consider using RPG Maker, RenPy, etc. You will make your game way faster. If you are a good programmer, then you will have to go a more minimal on your art style. The only shortcut of this is hiring people. It's very tempting to pick up a harder game engine so that you can show off your programming skills and such. But after a month or so of programming and you feel like you kind of hate it and you suck at it. I mean, obviously when you work on a game project, you're going to have to do stuff you don't want to do, right? But if you feel like this is not something you're going to be good at, try your best to avoid it and then improve your skill set on the things that you do want to do, right? If you're more of an artist, you probably don't want to use Unity or Unreal, right? Well, Unreal is a different example. But if you can avoid it and use an easier game engine so you can really hone in and focus on your craft, do that. If you are a programmer, then go for Unity, try to make a very mechanically driven game and try to make something really interesting out of it. All right, tip number 2, use assets. It's okay to use assets. Just learn how to make a cohesive experience. Learn how to edit things to make it fit your game. You can buy tile sets, you can buy character portraits and stuff like that. But if the game doesn't look cohesive, you buy a bunch of different art style that just doesn't mix well together, then players will notice that. But if you're just starting out, I'd say go for it. But if you are an artist, try to use code assets instead of art assets, right? You want to focus on what you're good at, right? So work on your art. Code assets are really good because once you release the game, nobody's going to notice, right? If you can find a code asset that's Dark Souls-y on Unity, then use that asset so you can make that Dark Souls looking game, right? All right, tip number 3, marketing is important, but it's also overrated. Marketing only helps when your game is good. If your game is not good, you need to learn how to make your game look good. There are no shortcuts to this. Learn how to make games people want to buy. That's just what it is as a game dev. You gotta make games people want to buy, right? And in return, when you make a game that people want to buy, then you made an even better game because people want to play it, right? All right, tip number 4, you will have to optimize your time. A lot of beginners waste a lot of their free time while making their game. Watching YouTube videos while working and browsing Twitter and stuff. You need deep quality hours of work to make a game. Put on a playlist of music and just focus on your game, right? Avoid distraction and set yourself a time limit so you can actually get it done at a reasonable time. Tip number 5, you will hate your own work sometimes. You will start out loving your game. Then you will learn to hate all of its flaws and you can't fix it due to your skill level. Another situation is that you will improve so much by the end that you are just disgusted with your old work. But if you revise it, then the whole game will just crumble apart, right? You have a bad foundation of the game. Learn to accept that you are a beginner. It's okay. That's just part of the process. You've grown since then and just keep making more games. You hating your own work is part of the critic inside of you that pushes you to be better. It's a good voice to have in your head, but you don't have to listen to it all the time. Choose to listen to it or ignore it if it's practical. Tip number 6, focus on your forte. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but accept that you are mediocre at many things. All right, you are not amazing at everything. You might be good at one thing, but you're okay at best with many other skill sets. It's very rare that you will be just great at everything. Once you finish your first game, you will notice what skill set you naturally lean on. Once you identify this, learn to work in teams that can cover your weakness. If you are a strong programmer, you likely don't need to hire another programmer just yet. You need an artist. If you are an artist, then you need to look for a programmer to make a more complex game. If you are a writer, then you probably need an artist or a programmer, right? Learn how to make a team to cover your weakness. Don't hire people that just makes your forte even stronger just yet, right? All right. Hope this helped you guys out. I'll see you guys next time. Hey, if you guys want to support the channel, make sure to wishlist Grey Heritage Noble Duty. It's part of the Grey Heritage series that I've made in SRPG Studio. If you guys want to play a released game, I also have Grey Heritage Faded Vision. Make sure to check those out. Links is in the description.